Welcome to Sing 24 TV. This is the Nationalist show with Kennedy Abongo. The big question, should Raila run in 2027? So many people, I think, are asking about this, and I thought maybe we could also consider it, since one of the MPs from Western Kenya did say that 2027 Raila will run again, and this time without the baggage of President Uhuru Kenyatta. First of all, I found it quite unfortunate that the good MP decided to blame President Uhuru Kenyatta for Raila's loss. That not being the case, we are now faced with this critical question: should Raila run in 2027? Before we proceed with that analysis, do kindly subscribe and click that notification bell so that you are notified whenever we post. I'm giving you a moment to do that. Okay, I believe you have done so. So let us proceed to the topic itself. As I say, there are some people who say that Raila should run in 2027. They say so because they believe that had he won 2022, then he should have gone for 2 terms. And therefore, their premise is that in 2027, he should run. And should he win, then he can go for only 1 term. Okay. That is a good argument, if I must say, but what is the viability of it? So my starting point would be, we have to realize that the Constitution does not bar Right Honorable Raila Odinga from vying again. He can run again in 2027 because that is his constitutional right. Nobody can be barred. You can be you can run even 10 times. Nobody would bar you from running for the presidency. So on that basis alone, he can run. However, issues of running and issues of politics are matters that, if we are to consider, then we have to go beyond the Constitution itself. Political issues are more complex than what the Constitution itself would allow, because there are bit of vested interest in that. There are people who buried their own dreams and allowed you to do certain things or allowed you certain liberties. What will they feel? So all these factors must be considered in asking this or in answering this critical question. So, will he be able to convince the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka and maybe Charity Ngilu to back him, or any other leader for that matter to back him? You know, that is a very critical question. Having run in 2013, he had Kalonzo, and 2017, he had Kalonzo again, and then in 2022, he now went with Martha Karua, with Kalonzo really supporting his run. So there is a pattern here that Kalonzo has, on 3 occasions, decided to sacrifice his own ambition to run for the presidency for the sake of Raila. What will that mean if Raila again decides that in 2027 he is now going to run? Because everybody else, including those who supported Azimio, believe that this was his last stab to the presidency, and now another person would take over from him if he lost this particular one. So there was expectation that, having lost the elections, then he would be nurturing other people to take over the opposition leadership, and also now to eventually run in 2027 and not Raila himself. So most of all, there are certain things or notions that is running in 2027 may validate. One of them being that Raila has had this baggage that is hungry, is hungry for power. That if it is not him, then no one else. You see, he ran in 2013. In 2017 again he ran and had Kalonzo support him. In 2022 again he ran, despite Kalonzo thinking that he was now the one to take the mantle and run as a presidential candidate. So if he decides again to run in 2027, what will that validate that notion that he's hungry for power? And if that can validate that notion, will he really have the support of Kalonzo Musyoka? You see, so there are people you would expect in your corner. And how about the constituency outside Luo Nyanza? He may remain with Luo Nyanza, may back him to the man which I believe again may be questionable, because there would some sort of voter apathy in that area, because they would believe, no, if he doesn't have this person, how is he really going to win the presidency against President Ruto, who will be the president at that time, seeking second term, and also on his prime, because he'll be 60. So he'll be a very strong candidate. So I suspect that Raila running in 2027 is something that should be looked at beyond the interest of Raila himself and beyond the constitutional framework that we have. It is time for him to also look at this thing critically and say, I did try 5 times, and in those 5 times I failed. If I am not able to do it, and therefore even due to my age, because most of the people say, okay, age is just but a number, but it is a critical aspect, because there are also people like Kalonzo Musyoka who's been supporting him. He must now, at this point in time, return the hand to these people and support them also in their dreams. So I can say without an iota of doubt that if Right Honorable Raila Odinga decides to run, the political dynamics today would change. He may find himself with not so much support, and Kalonzo may decide to run by himself. He may remain probably with Karua, but as we've all seen, that did not bear any fruit. So Ruto, being the president, will retain his constituency. That is, Weta, Papa Waroma will be with him, Madividi will be with him, because already they are in power, and there would be no need of destabilizing that power structure. And if that is the case, then it would be even much more easier for President Ruto to go into Western and increase his stock, considering that he won. And how will the Western people now view Raila himself? Will their view of Raila remain the same? So these are factors that we must consider, especially beyond the Constitution. These are factors that are beyond the Constitution and beyond the Luo Nyanza itself. So there is one thing that I'm sure about, that if Raila runs, then without any iota of doubt, Ruto will win that election by a bigger margin. So, my answer to the question being, should Raila run again in 2027? Personally, I think he should not. He should not run in 2027. He can participate in the process as a kingmaker, but should avoid running in 2027 at all cost. If you have any contrary view, do leave a comment down there. We'd also wish to know what you think about this issue. Our position remains, he should not run. Do subscribe and share these videos. Thank you.